Welcome to this episode of Small Bike Stuff. Here is a quick kind of rundown, about 30 minutes of uninterrupted drag strip footage with a little bit of commentary from me, so let's check it out. So we're at an NGO Thailand event. This is in Hat Yai, and these guys are just testing all their bikes out before they go racing. So let's go check all these bikes out and have some fun, because I'm rather excited right now. That's true, I was rather excited. I had turned up to Songkhla Speedway in southern Thailand after a day of absolutely torrential rain, and I'd come with these guys here. So this is Nuttawut on the left and Tip, who's taken the photo for us. We turned up in a Proton Exora Turbo. How cool. So we took a photo and went and started to check out the event itself. I had no idea what was happening. I thought it was an official sanctioned drag event, and it was, but there was a bit of interesting stuff happening. So this is the car park where everyone just kind of just parked up. You can see the water all over the ground. It had been raining all day, and this was probably going to be cancelled, but the rain held off for a few hours at the last minute, so we were lucky enough to turn up. And as you see, we're walking towards these covered over areas here. This is where people were just kind of staging and setting up their bikes. Got a Honda Wave there, giant carburetor on the side, 125S, so that's like an early 2000s model. And yeah, people just kind of had their bikes on display. Some of them were using the public launch area, which we'll show you soon. That thing there's damn cool. That's a Honda Supercub, but it's a 110. This thing, a Honda Wave 125i, but that's a CBR 300 motor. So 300cc of power in a Honda Wave 125i. And it looks fairly standard until you get up close to it and you see the engine popping out the center of the plastics there. And he's also quite cunningly wedged in, yeah, that speedometer there into the original dash area. So 6-speed manual now on the same small tires. So here we are at the NGO event in Thailand. I'm with Bot. He's one of the admins of the Honda Chally group on Facebook in Thailand, and I'm going to stop talking about myself and show you the bikes. I called him Tip at the start, but his name's Bot. Supercub Roy Sip. It's got a Ran exhaust on it with a longer tip. It's running 60, 80, 17 tyres. 1.4 inch rims, front and rear, disc front. That Ko Mahachai pipe, look how long that thing is. It's absolutely wild. Anyway. Send it. I was asking these guys what size the sprockets are, because they're, yeah, as you see, really small. So 23 on the back and 13 on the front, I'm pretty sure. So it's a 23 tooth rear sprocket. Look at that alloy tank in place of the original tank. So it's a 13 tooth front sprocket, a 23 tooth rear sprocket. And the swing arm has the shocks mounted at the very, very rear, which is quite odd. A lot of these had the wheels tucked up as close as possible to reduce the wheel tracking, I guess. But it's not really the right word. What more could you want in life? Stance, something like that. Cool. And the real racing's happening over there, as you can hear. Yeah, little shops like this set up, just kind of stalls. All those 4-valve heads there, tyre warmers, big pistons and barrels, side covers, intakes, chains, dodgy little helmets that probably aren't actually that safe. So you got 25mm, 22 exit, 28 intake, 25 exit. That's really cool. Tyre warmers, in case you need that for when you're racing. And this here is a slick, but it's not inflated yet. So that's pretty cool. I didn't realize they came out square. Do they have sizing on them? 60, 75, 17. In hindsight, I should have bought those slicks, because I've been looking for slicks for a long time. I saw them there, I didn't buy them. And I went to a market in Bangkok a couple of weeks later, which should technically have had them, but they couldn't find any 17-inch slick tires. That truck that was just in the background, we'll show that soon. These guys, notice those number plates? Yeah, they're from Malaysia. Malaysia, lo? Yeah, Malaysia. You come from Malaysia? From Malaysia. I was in Malaysia this morning. This morning? Oh, yeah. You come from Malaysia today? Yeah. Thursday, Singapore. Friday, Malacca. Yeah. Saturday, KL. And today, Hat Yai.
Me from Langkawi.
You're from Langkawi?
Yeah.
The island?
Island.
Yeah, wow. And you
Yeah.
come here just to race?
No, 4 days.
4 days?
First day, Pakmara.
Yeah?
Second day, Krabi Byway.
Yeah.
Third day, Hanyai.
Yeah.
Today, Songkhla.
Songkhla.
Tomorrow, go back.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, let's take a photo. This whole thing is just absolute madness and I'm loving it. I'm having the best time of my life. And I've only been here about 10 minutes. There's those guys in the background. There they are. Look, let's put them on the video because they keep looking at me. To get in here, it was, I don't know, 400 baht for 3 people. You get this stamped on your wrist and then you come in and you can spectate. There's a whole bunch of cool stuff happening. There's an ambulance over here. There's a kart racing track and behind the camera. And I guess we just go and check out all these people accelerating fast before I get deaf.
So yeah, that was the aim of the game, just kind of check everything out. It was incredibly loud, I wasn't super prepared. You know, I didn't know if they sold any food or drink. Look at that wheelie. Food or drink on site, and they did thankfully, because yeah, you'll see soon, I got really hot. I turned into a bit of a beetroot. Just beet red in the face. This is the local kind of launch test area. So you can just turn up on any bike, even though there's a sanctioned track event over the other side. And you know, this would never be allowed in New Zealand. Hey everyone, do launch control testing in the car park. It's just so cool to see. And I mean, I don't like the gear. I don't like how they're only wearing flip-flops. And you know, they've got no helmets. That guy, yeah. You see so many instances. Like, I kind of get the no helmet. I don't agree with it. I get it. But the flip-flops I will never understand. Because one tiny little touch on the tarmac at even 20-30 kilometers an hour and you've ripped your skin off. It's just so counterintuitive. I can't ride a motorcycle. I physically feel sick if I could ride a motorcycle with jandals on. You just know you're going to cause yourself an injury. And it's not uncommon to see, you know, groups of these guys hanging out and someone's got grazes all over their body or on their head or something like that because they just had an oopsie. And yeah, it's interesting. But some of these bikes are impressive, and these guys genuinely are using
This is genuinely mind-blowing.
their daily riders.
A bit so I can have a quick yarn with you, but basically what they're all doing is just staging and figuring out exactly how their bike's running.
Yeah.
There's people over there doing jet changes, and then there's these guys all, and girls, which is really cool to see. Just giving it their all and seeing what they can do. This is Songkhla International Speedway. I think it's just a karting track and a drag strip. But yeah, it's really, really impressive to see what's happening here. I look like a beetroot, but that's okay. You get that on the big jobs. And sorry for not looking at the camera sometimes. I'm just all over the show at the moment, but I'm having fun. And I don't know what the audio is going to be like, but I'm deaf where it is, so that's consolation, I guess. At least it means that I've had fun. So hopefully you're having fun watching this. I'm going to make about 45 videos out of this one event. 2-stroke.
I've only ended up making this the fourth video, not 45. But yeah, these are their daily riders is what I was trying to say before I rudely interrupted myself. That Yes pipe on the side there, not a brand I had seen before this event. And all the kids are just hanging out there together in different groups. This guy's a mad dog. Look at him with his X-Max 300cc Yamaha. Those are pretty expensive bikes, you know, compared to like a 100cc Honda Wave or little 110. Here's the prizes. I've since realized after editing through this footage for the 4th time that they had a bit of a show and shine as well, and that's what the Malaysian guys had turned up for. These girls are what they call pretties. That's like a full-on job, career prospect in Thailand. Most events have pretties, and I know that sounds like a bit crass.
That trophy is quite literally taller than I am.
But it's true. That's a legitimate job over there. You just dress up really nicely and go to events and promote products, and you know, you can make a solid career out of it as a female. And more power to them. We'll see those girls later on handing out stuff from that giant truck that looks a bit weird in the background. Over here we've got the Yamaha Fins. So this kind of occurred to me after being there for about 20 minutes that it was an event for all brands, but they were having a specific focus on Yamahas. So the Fin is a 115cc 4-speed semi-automatic that you can buy from any Yamaha shop in Thailand at the moment. And these are obviously quite modified. You've got a Ko Mahachai pipe on there. That swing arm's got the tyre, the wheel, as far forward as it can be. You've got those incredible intakes that you see up the front of the bikes there. The big chrome intakes. And they were all racing each other in what's the Yamaha Fin Racing Series. No brakes needed on the rear, right? Weight saving at its finest.
So just told all the Fin boys to stand by. That's this whole lineup here. Yamaha Fins. So I guess the Fin series is going first. So they'll jump out of the field, race each other, see who's the fastest, and go from there. Which is pretty wild. I do like the variety of these bikes. Even when it's the same model, there's a ton of different things they do to them. And I have a big thing for these intakes that they've got.
I mean, seriously, check them out. Huge intakes off the intake manifold, or the throttle body, because these are all fuel injected. And they just come up and suck in pure air. And you'll see a couple of those covered up later in the video, because it started branding a bit more. There you go, there's a plug-in one there.
From New Zealand.
New Zealand.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
Do you interest in the dark bike?
Yeah, in New Zealand I have a Honda Wave.
Oh, Honda Wave.
125, 143.
Oh.
Yeah, but only one. I race alone.
So this guy works at Yamaha.
Yes.
Yeah,
From
cool.
Bangkok.
From Bangkok, กรุงเทพเหรอ
Yes.
2556 2557อยู่
So I just had a quick yarn with him, telling him that I'd lived in Thailand before, and he asked where I lived, and I said I was on holiday at that point in time. But yeah, he was the official Yamaha guy that was there overseeing this event, and basically what he's saying here, I will talk over it, he's saying that Yamaha realised that, you know, their bikes weren't really used in drag racing, so they kind of, I don't know whether they funded or they just directly influenced this drag series, so people use Yamaha Fin 115cc bikes, modify them within an inch of their life, and go down and race each other, and it kind of, you know, what wins on Sunday sells on Monday, that old saying. If there's a series with only Yamahas in it, then, you know, some people are going to be pretty interested. Traditionally in Thailand, Honda has a massive dominance in the market. Over the border in Malaysia, there's still a lot of Yamahas that are popular, as well as Honda, but in Thailand, you know, the presence of Honda is just, it really can't be beat. So these guys are actually proactively, you know, encouraging racing and stuff like that to try get a bit of a scene going behind the Yamahas, the Yamaha Fin 115cc specifically. So it was super cool to see, and now he asks if I know the model.
Yeah, New Zealand has not many small bikes.
Oh, yes. Because it's only sell in Thailand and Vietnam.
Okay. Yeah. It's good. So 115cc standard,
Yes.
but not standard.
Oh, not standard. Yes. Modified.
Yeah. Amazing. Yeah. That's cool. How do you help the team? What do you do?
I'm trying to push in our model in the racing.
Yeah, so that's basically the best explanation I could get out of him. He's saying I'm trying to push this model in racing. And I actually got his business card. I've still got it here beside me while I'm actually recording this voiceover. And I foolishly didn't contact him when I was in Bangkok because I ran out of time. I think it would have been a really beneficial experience and possibly got to go see a lot more of Yamaha. I've tried to get into the Honda factories quite a few times. I've got friends that work at Honda Thailand. And they just won't even acknowledge my desire to go and see the Honda factory. It's just under lock and key by the sounds of it, so it is what it is. I mean, like, I'm happy to go and not film, that's fine. I can just be a normal person without a camera. But yeah, they just weren't super keen on it. And this guy kind of, I did suggest it to him, and later in the night, and he kind of said, well, just get in touch with me and I'll see if I'm free. I'm always very busy. And I didn't, which is a bit foolish in hindsight, but such is life. And now he's just following the page, Small Bike Stuff. So that guy might watch this video. If you do, hey man, I'm sorry I didn't come and see you in Bangkok. It was really nice to speak to someone else there. When you get down to the deep south, you know, English is really not that prevalent, so it was just cool to have a bit of a yarn with someone that understood what was happening and could explain it a bit more to me, because yeah, all I knew was what I could see on the signs. BKK Southern 2022. This was filmed in November, mid-November 2022 on a Saturday, I believe. And here we have what's Honda Super Cub. So this model came out as before the brand new C125s did. It's a little 110cc, and it's actually the NBC model number. So that thing there is pretty interesting. And yeah, you see on the left here, that guy didn't want to race. Watch them when they're racing, you'll notice that they stage up and someone's got the preference there. So see, he'll tell them to come closer, and then he'll point to one guy to say he's ready, and then the other guy, he'll be like, no, I'm not ready, not ready. Yes, now I'm ready. Go. Yeah. And so if you've got that power, I mean, it seems like you can just shake your head a few times until you're ready and kind of put the other guy off. So the other guy is focusing on the lights, so he's not looking at you, so he doesn't know that you're saying no. And someone hasn't tripped the sensor or something there, or they just went really slow. But yeah, I don't know how you get the favour in the drag racing. Is it a coin toss? This is the gear change check. They always check that every single gear works before they go. There's no obstructions, there's nothing wrong. Check out that rear guard as well. Weight saving at its finest. Do a little bit of a tyre polish. I'm pretty sure I explained this soon, so you might hear me saying it twice, but that's okay. And yeah, they just chuck the lightest guy they can find. If you see that kid on the left there, you know, he's got to be all of 13, 14 years old. And the standard drag racing uniform there, so that was a test launch, is light shoes, very light shoes, jeans, and a team top, like a top that has the team name or the event name on it, and a real thin helmet that really doesn't look like it would do much. No gloves, and yeah, they just send it basically. This is some pre-race checks, and look at the guy's head on the left. I'm pretty sure, yep, yes, see, he says we can go. So a proper race. It does take a while to have proper races happen because, you know, quite often someone will be like no, or they'll have a false start, or there you go. 8.834 seconds was 8.699 was the winner actually in the right lane, and that's an eighth mile. It's absolutely insane how they can just, you know, hold. Well, they've just got so much power, and the dudes are so light that those bikes are at the absolute edge of their limit. On this bike leaned over, you can see, you know, the fancy paint splatter on the engine there, but you've got those taped spokes up the front, which is always quite interesting. Some kind of controller there in the middle, and that real thin seat, which is just purely designed for weight saving. You know, the rear lock is removed for the seat. They're just saving as much weight as they can. So that tiny little skinny dude there,
the smallest kid they can on the bike.
Yeah,
because obviously he's the lightest person out there to ride them, which is pretty damn cool.
so that tent is the staging area, well, not staging area, the weigh station. So before every race, you weigh your bike, which you'll see soon. And they've also got a whole bunch of like Makita powered, or, you know, just battery powered fans and blowers, because these engines are only air or liquid cooled, air or oil cooled, sorry. They've got no radiator, they're not liquid cooled, and so they usually, you know, after a couple of runs are extremely hot. You know, you couldn't really go and daily these things and ride them like normal. So they point the fans at the engine to kind of blow them, blow the hot air away and cool them down between runs. And maybe a little bit of a clip of that soon, you'll see. So he's doing his gear check.
So we've got the gear check, which seems to be a regular thing with every race. Make sure all your gears work before you get down the track and destroy yourself, which is cool. It's really cool to see. The tyre polish. The taped front spokes, which I have no idea why.
Someone told me that the front spokes might be taped to break those sensors when they're drag racing, but I'm not entirely sure. He says no, not ready, not ready, not ready, not ready, not ready, yes ready, go. Oof, left lane 1. 8.6 versus 8.8, and that's an eighth mile, remember, not a quarter mile. Not much air in the rear tyre of this Fin. I do wonder what tyre pressures they run, you know, because I am going to try do a couple of drag racing passes with the Wave, but It's not going to be anything like this. My engine kit is not designed to go, wow, as hard as these things do. I've just got a basic mild 143 kit, whereas these are kind of tuned within an inch of their life to be good at the drag strip only. And I've kind of got mine set up so I can actually use it on the daily and ride it. You see, just touch the tyre there, they check the temperature all by feel. And just kind of stage themselves. It's the rain's coming as well, I forgot to mention that. The rain came back. And the guy over the speakerphones, over the microphones, just saying hurry up, basically. I honestly thought the event would end after this run. But they keep going for quite a while. Check out those racing shoes as well. And the full tuck. They don't even look. Oh, shoddy camera work. 9.3. So
well,
he did win.
It's kind of been rained off at this point. Starting to spit outside, and it's not ideal. So I think things are going to be. I think they'll hold. But everyone's made a lot of effort to come here, so surely they'll see if they can outlast the rain. But then the track's going to be wet, so I don't know. It stopped raining about 4 or 5 hours ago, which is what made the track dry enough for what it is now. So it'll be super interesting to see what happens, or if anything happens, and if not, I'm already deaf and I've seen a lot, so I'm pretty stoked. I need to come prepared with lots of water and earplugs.
I really should have taken earplugs. Check out that race. That guy just went on his rear wheel like a mad lad. And we hid under this cover here because, as you can see, the rain was there, but it didn't stop some people from racing. And kind of, I thought it was a bit counterintuitive, you know, they warm up their tyre and then roll back onto an area that's wet again. But then the second you've taken off, you've got to go over a full wet track anyway. So they've also got open intakes, so I think it's a bit dodgy in some way, shape or form. You know, water ingress into the intake obviously isn't great. These don't need water injection, they need fuel. But as you can see, no issues. I didn't see one person come off. I would have come off. Lifting that wheel at every opportunity. And that's Nut, my friend from southern Thailand. He lives in Hat Yai, Songkhla. And he's just having a chat with one of the guys about the setups of their bike, why they do things, how they do things. And it was super interesting just to kind of sit there and see some locals have a chat. As you see, rain. It didn't stop. But despite the rain, they did actually get out there and have a few more sessions. They really wanted to get to the bottom of who was the fastest Yamaha Fin, as that was kind of the main reason for this event. I really like the rear guard on this. You know how they've kind of just, it says PKK on the back there, but they've done their own kind of art. It's kratom in that bottle, that brown liquid. It's kind of a legal drug there now. You just drink it, makes you feel relaxed. Now this truck, so this is super common at kind of any fair or temple event or any event that needs music. This truck just turns up and blasts music at the absolute top of its volume level. They've turned it up to 11 for sure. And those pretties that I talked about before, those lovely ladies that were in the stand kind of showcasing products, they are now giving away stuff up there. And this is the part where I realised that they had a bit of a show and shine. So the nicest Honda Waves, you know, these guys entered them into a show and shine. You can see, you know, shiny chrome everywhere. The Malaysian guys had their bikes set up as well. And there was a whole bunch of prizes that were given out for, you know, the cleanest bikes. You do see a lot bigger show and shines at the NGO Southern Drag Days, like the big once yearly event. But yeah, over there you've got your truck, which is just like a standard Mitsubishi Fuso diesel with a massive frame welded onto it that turns into a stage. There's disco lights, and those ladies are just on the microphones doing what they do best, talking aggressively at people while giving away free stuff. And as you can see, it was a bit of a lolly scramble except with bike parts, which I was just like a bit flabbergasted by. It was quite cool. I really wanted to stop filming and go and get some. I didn't know what it was, but you know, free stuff. Who doesn't want free stuff? And these guys do walk past shortly, and you'll actually see that they were just like shiny bolts or fixings for the bike. Possibly sump plugs, I think. Yeah, I can't tell. Yeah, sump plugs, I think. But anyway, who doesn't love a free sump plug? So the rain came back and filled up the car park a little bit, but It didn't dampen anyone's spirits, and the racing kicked straight back into it once the rain had kind of dissipated a little bit. This is a regular occurrence. Locals wanting photos. They didn't realize I was videoing, I think, and they wanted photos. It's obviously a friend group down there in southern Thailand that were just there to watch, so I took a whole bunch of photos, haven't posted them anywhere, and I don't know where to post them so those kids can see them, so too late. They've probably been to 10, 15 other drag events since then. Here's the setup. You can hear the fans going in the background where they're trying to cool down engines. You roll up with the rider onto the weigh station. Yes or no? Yep, okay. And then disappear up to the drag strip itself and get ready to race. So that weighing happens before every single race, just to make sure you haven't done anything dodgy. I guess there's a minimum weight limit, so you can't be any lighter than whatever the minimum weight limit is, and I guess they're all trying to sit on the cusp of that, and that's why they've got really light riders as well. So bit of a skid, as we've seen, and these guys are the top dogs, like the fastest bikes. We're getting towards the end now. We've only got a few minutes left, and they were trying to get it done before the rains came back in and settled for the night. As you can see, just that launch and then the rain going through all the standing water on the track, I just find it mind-blowing. So yeah, a decent difference there. The left lane, the right lane one, sorry. Listen to that intake sound. Right on the limit of what it's capable. Getting there, almost. What do we got for times? 8.7. Yeah, so right lane, that orange bike one. And now we're coming out for what I think is one of the final races, if not the final race. But what we kept running into was one of the guys false starting, I believe. Just doing the pointing. Yep, I'm ready. And wide open, limmy bashing, frustration, I guess. Especially when it comes down to the final races. We're back with the orange bike. And not ready, not ready. Yes, he's ready. Go. So as you can see, the left lane stopped. The right lane's already realised, but he kept going. I think it was like a case of we're not restarting again.
Then we have it, the winner of that series won because the other person couldn't stop false starting. Amazing. Thai drag racing is amazing. I'll do a summary into voiceovers. I'll probably do a few videos of this. Holy crap, what a good time.
And like I said, it was a good time. That's it. This is kind of behind the scenes of what happens at a Thai drag racing event. They get a lot more serious than this, and they can be a lot more casual than this. So I was lucky I could get up close and film everything. But that was it. We had to head off. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.